If dating feels impossible, it's probably not the dating part. It's what happens after, when things turn physical and your brain starts to scream and your body starts to tighten up. That's not arousal. That's your nervous system bracing for danger. This video shows you how to reset that response so your body can actually feel safe. And when it does, intimacy stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling good. When guys are single, it can feel like there's no warm-up. You might feel like you're not allowed any kind of awkwardness when you're getting to know someone. You might think you're only allowed to get one perfect shot, one night. Your heart feels like you're free climbing El Capitan. No rope, one wrong move and it's over. Most guys I've worked with, they're not avoiding intimacy because they don't want sex. They're avoiding it because the stakes feel too high to even show up. That's not fear so much as it is self-protection. I've had clients tell me, I was on a date and everything was fine until we went into the bedroom and then my chest locked up. I could barely breathe. Or we were just having drinks. I wasn't even thinking about the sex yet, but I was already super nervous, even shaking. Or worst of all, I'm not going to date until I know that I'll be able to get hard. So clearly, dating can be hard for single guys with ED. But here's the really tricky part. Almost every ED resource assumes that you have a partner, someone patient, someone safe, someone you can do partnered exercises with, lots of warm-ups. But what if you're solo? There's not much out there. Some therapists will recommend single guys find surrogate partners or group workshops. Yeah, I'm not sure how many single guys are up for anything like that. So what do you do when you're trying to rebuild trust with your body without anyone to build it with? The thing a lot of guys do is wait until a moment of crisis to even think about it. A date goes badly, a hookup falls flat, then they scramble. But what if you prepared your nervous system the same way you might prepare for a job interview or a free climb? That mindset shift from reacting to preparing is what can turn fear into trust. So here we go. Here are some ways you can start rebuilding trust with yourself before the date, way before the bedroom. 1. Plan on leading with real. If you think you might have a problem, you can always say something like, sometimes I get a little nervous with someone new. I hope you don't mind if we go slow. That's not weakness, it's leadership. Hey, quick aside, if you'd ever like to work together with me, just give me a call or drop me a note. I've been helping guys resolve ED issues for over 20 years. Maybe it could help you too. 2. Create a safety net. It sucks to have to come up with something on the fly if there's a problem. Sure, ideally things will go great, but just in case they don't, plan exactly how you'll handle it in advance. Know what to say. Maybe something like, I really like you, I just get in my head sometimes, or this happens sometimes, doesn't mean anything bad, let's just slow down. That honesty doesn't just diffuse tension. I've heard it from clients showing that kind of vulnerability can actually be attractive to a lot of women. And having a plan usually feels a lot safer than not having one. Don't perform. Plan to explore. Give yourself permission in advance to make the date about exploring. Exploring what she's like as a person. Maybe doing some exploration of what you're like sexually together. And if you've ever caught yourself asking things like, am I hard yet? Try shifting your self-talk into something more like, can I be curious about how this feels to be with her right now? Just letting that kind of exploration of the feelings. Long exhalations. Long exhalations calm the nervous system quickly. I know, I've mentioned this in a few other videos, but it's just such an easy tool for something like this, I can't not mention it. Every time you do a long exhalation, your diaphragm is sending the message to your brain that your body is safe. You're a lot more likely to feel grounded and calm if you remind yourself to keep your exhalations long and slow. And you can do that well before the date. You can really get into the habit of that. Drop the one-itis. I think it was Neil Strauss's very funny book, The Game, where the pickup artists would make fun of guys who were hyper-obsessed with one woman. Often a woman they barely knew. They called it one-itis. Don't be that guy. Plenty of fish in the sea. No matter how cool or how hot she might seem, she's not your only chance. More options equals less pressure. Less pressure equals more confidence. Ask her what she likes. Let her drive. Performance anxiety hates feedback and interaction. If she asks for something you can't deliver, plan on telling her you're not ready yet. Should be prepared for that in advance. Skip porn for a while. Let your brain have the chance to recalibrate itself. I'm about as far as you can get from anti-porn crusader, but I have seen this make a difference for some guys that I've worked with, particularly in the confidence department. Laugh at the voice. When you hear that voice in your head that's blah, 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 blah about all that negative stuff, you can get in the habit of not arguing with it or correcting it, but just remembering that you don't have to take it seriously either. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. And the more you kind of practice that way of relating with your internal dialogue, the easier it'll be, the more natural it'll be when you're actually on a date. Here's another move. Take sex off the table. Not forever, just for tonight, just for this date. Remember those old movies? The ones where the 1950s good girl says, no, 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 no. But then when things really start heating up in the back seat, she starts saying yes, yes, yes. Flip it. You're the one saying no. Not to play games, but just to stay in control, to let your system rest in a place where there's no 500-foot free climb tonight. So you can just go with the flow. And the irony is, it flips the power dynamic. You might find yourself becoming the really interesting, maybe first, guy who's not trying to jump down her pants. People perceive value when there's scarcity. It's just how we're wired. Funny, I had a client who was dating a long time ago, and I made him promise that no matter what, he wouldn't try to have sex with anyone that week. I wanted that pressure 100% off him. So I made him really promise no sex. When he came in for his next session, he was super apologetic that he broke his promise to me. He held out for as long as he could, but things just got too hot and they had to fuck. I forgave him. This isn't a checklist or anything. If you want, just pick an approach and try it. See how it works for you. And maybe find that even if it doesn't work, it might give you the idea for what does. Trial and error and creative thinking can help you move in the right direction, even if it's not right away, and even if it doesn't exactly match any of my ideas. The goal isn't to get better or fix anything. The idea is more just getting warmed up, getting prepared so you can relax and have some fun as you get out there and enjoy dating. If this video gave you tools to prep before the date, the next one helps when things get intense during the date. It's called Mental ED Fixes You Can Use Now, and it's built for those nights when you need tools you can use on the fly. You can watch it here. Because dating with ED isn't about being perfect on the first time. It's about you feeling calm, curious, prepared, and having some fun staying in the game. Thanks for watching.